Yes, get ready for the legal dictation containing 720 words at the speed of 90 words per minute. 3, 2, 1, start. It is urged by him that the High Court has fallen into error by opining that there was no justification to exercise jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Constitution of India, whereas the facts stated warranted deletion of such an observation by the DRAT, as a tribunal has no jurisdiction to grant such liberty, and especially when a settlement between the borrower and auction purchaser had been arrived at. Learned Counsel would submit the DRAT had really not addressed to any issue, and after recording a settlement in a most brief manner recorded the observations which really deserved to be quashed by the High Court. It is further canvassed by the Council that the High Court should have taken note of the fact that the order passed by the DRAT had already been complied with, and it was absolutely unnecessary to drag the bank to a further litigation which is contrary to the spirit of Act and the purpose of recovery of debts due to Banks and Financial Institutions Act 1993. It is also contended that the DRAT failed to take note of the prayer made by the appellant therein, and for no important reason the matter was kept pending for more than 4.5 years. The learned counsel, appearing for the respondent number 1, contended that he had paid the dues of the bank within the time fixed by the DRAT, and thereafter he had also transferred the property in favor of a third party due to financial difficulties. In essence, submission of learned counsel is that putting the cloak back is likely to cause serious loss to him. The learned counsel, appearing for the auction purchaser, submitted that on the basis of the liberty he had already filed a suit in the High Court and is entitled to pursue the remedy because of action was taken in hot haste in by the bank in putting the property into auction without indicating that litigation was going on between the borrower and the bank. It is urged by him had the said fact was made known, the third respondent would not have participated in the auction. It is argued by him that his claim for damages cannot be nullified the decision of the High Court. Before we dwell upon the jurisdiction of the DRAT to give such a liberty to the auction purchaser, we think that it is absolutely imperative in the case at hand to take note of the fact that though the appeal was filed before the DRAT and admitted, yet the same was disposed of almost after 4.5 years. We are at pains to say that the DRAT has totally forgotten the obligation cast on it under the RDB Act and also has remained quite oblivious of the salient features and the main purpose of Act. In this context, we may fruitfully refer to the objects and regions of the Act. The relevant part of it reads the financial sector has been one of the key drivers in India's efforts to achieve success in rapidly developing its economy. While the banking industry in India is progressively complying with international prudential norms and accounting practices, there are certain areas in which the banking and financial sector do not have a level playing field as compared to other participants in the financial markets in the world. There is no legal provision for facilitating securitization of financial assets of banks and financial institutions. Further, unlike international banks, the banks and financial institutions in India do not have power to take possession of securities and sell them. Our existing legal framework relating to commercial transactions has not kept pace with the changing commercial practices and financial sector reforms. This has resulted in slow pace of recovery of defaulting loans and mounting levels of non-performing assets of banks and financial institutions. Narsimhan Committee first and second constituted by the central government for the purpose of need for changes in the legal system in respect of these areas. In another case, referring to the statement of objects and reasons, this court dealt with the submission that existing rights of private parties. Stop. Yes, ready for general matter dictation containing 720 words at the same speed. 3, 2, 1, start. Next, I come to the question of the Vigilance Commission. Something has been said about the Vigilance Commission also here. It is a good thing that the government should be thinking of eradicating corruption in public life. They have appointed the vigilance commissioners, and this is a welcome sign. In the states also, similar commissions have been appointed. But I have my doubts regarding the usefulness of these commissions. In the first place, I have objection to the appointment of the chairman of the commission. In our state, one of the retired High Court judges has been appointed. He was Vice Chancellor and he was made to resign and he was appointed the Vigilance Commissioner in that state. Particularly, I am opposed to the appointment of any retired High Court judge because I am of the opinion that High Court judges should not be appointed after their retirement. This is another way of corrupting the man. Our High Court judges are very good. There may be some exceptions, but so far they have kept up the reputation of the judiciary. But nowadays, since the government is appointing them to such lucrative posts, for instance, as vice chancellors and as chairmen of commissions and so on, there is a tendency to secure some favor or the other from the executive, and this is not a very healthy sign. Therefore, I would not mind if a High Court judge who is in regular service is appointed as the chairman of the commission, but in any case, retired High Court judges or retired Supreme Court judges should not be appointed to these commissions or, for that matter, to any of the government posts, because that is another way of corrupting them. Then there are certain people who are appointed or who are associated with the work of this commission, and mostly they are from the police department. We all know what is the reputation of the police department in this country. The police have in our country failed to create any confidence among the public. Whenever any trouble arises, for example, when trouble arose in Jamshedpur and Rourkela, the police machinery failed and ultimately the army had to be called in. The people have got some faith in the army, but they have no faith in the police because the police are not ready to give any help to them on many occasions. The work of investigation under the Vigilance Commission is entrusted to such a machinery, and I have grave doubts whether in that case the Commission will be able to come to grips with the problem or be able to find out the real cases of corruption through this machinery. If I am not wrong, I have read in the papers that there are complaints against the very officers or against the very persons who are now entrusted with the work of this Vigilance Commission. Therefore, my submission is that the agency for the investigation should be independent. I think that at least some special cadre should be created apart from the police and the investigation, or at least the final authority in the matter or the actual responsibility should not be with the police officers. What I have been told is that these very police dignitaries are entrusted with this investigation work, and when these police people investigate these cases, I doubt whether any real case can be brought to the notice of the Vigilance Commission. Next, I come to certain items which are referred to here as items of court decrees. Last time, when I spoke on the appropriation bill, I had requested the government not to act like a private party. The government appoints the arbitrator and then, being aggrieved against the decision of the arbitrator, they go in appeal to the High Court or to some other higher authority. That is not a fair thing for the government to do. Once the arbitrator gives his decision, the government, like a good litigant, should accept that verdict and accept that judgment and should not waste public money in going in appeal on that. I find that in two cases, the arbitrator's decision has not been accepted, and there are two cases which are pending in the High Court against their decision. In the first place, the government should not create such things. Stop over.